नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. इस समय हमारे साथ उपस्थित सभी दर्शकों और भक्तों का मैं प्रेम एवं आशीर्वाद सहित स्वागत करता हूँ. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Swamijis, Satsangis sitting with us around the world at this moment through Nithyananda TV, Sadhana TV, Lotus News Channel and through two-way video conferencing in 26 places all over the world, in 20 countries around the world as per the statistics. Cities sitting with us in two-way video conferencing, having Nayanadiksha, Kuala Lumpur, Houston, Toronto, Guadalupe, Surrey, British Columbia, Oklahoma, Somanatham, Los Angeles, Ohio, Prague, Hyderabad, Seattle, Chidambaram, Charlotte, Srisailam, San Diego, Pacific Beach, Hyderabad, Gupta Kashi, East London, Devon, UK, Singapore, San Jose, Madurai, New Jersey, Fort Lee, Indrani, New Jersey, Ohio, Mashivananda, Dubai, Vaidyanatham, San Diego, Pacific Beach, Enriching Temple, Bididi, Kathmandu, Nepal, Oman, Sivagangai, Paris Home Temple, Varanasi. So, I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Today I will expand on the power of completion and enriching, how each other completion helps enriching, enriching helps completion. Human life in its pure presence is eternal excitement. Please listen. Come to the space of listening. Human life in its pure presence, in its pure essence, eternal excitement. That is why all the qualities of life is based on change. Listen. Change is the law created for the sake of excitement. But when you try to have the security which is impossible, you try to bring stability, you try to bring a space where the change is not possible. But unfortunately, even if you are successful in that, you get into the mode of boredom now. Please listen, I am making a very powerful statements. Out of incompletion, when you try to bring stability by stopping the change or creating a buffer not to let the change happen in you, I'll make some of the important statements. Please listen. When you are really powerless and loveless, both are one and the same. Only when you have a power, you will be able to love. When you are able to love, you will have tremendous power. When you are powerless and loveless, you bring marriage as an alternative lifestyle. Please listen. I am not against the marriage system itself. I am against getting married due to the incompletions of insecurity. It is like if you have an insecurity, will this love be ever eternal? If you have a doubt about a person and an insecurity about a person, you cannot milk love from a person out of marriage. Please listen. You can't be milking love from a person out of marriage. No, it is not possible. If you have incompletion, fear, insecurity, whether I will have love from this person or love in my life forever, there are two things. Love from this person and at least love in my life in some form. If you have that question, if you have that problem, the first thing you need to do is completion. The first thing you need to do is completion, not anything else. Please understand, I wanted you to understand this important truth. This is the basic truth of the whole Hinduism. From the beginning, all decisions should be towards nivritti. From completion to more completion to more completion to more completion. But unfortunately, when you start making the decisions externally for your internal incompletions, when there is an internal incompletion, whenever you think changing a situation externally is going to alter, is going to change the situation, is going to bring you completion, you are only getting into more and more mess. The worst mess a human being can get into is deciding anything out of incompletion. I have seen people who decide due to incompletion, sannyas, struggle and suffer with whole life and destroy their life. And same way, people who have decided to get married out of incompletions destroy two lives, theirs and other person involved. When you make sannyas decision out of incompletion, you destroy one life. When you make marriage decision out of incompletion, you destroy two lives. See the whole humanity, it is nothing but destroying everyone's life. People spend their whole life just to destroy somebody's life. Like this yellow journalist. Destroying others' life Please listen. Any karma left incomplete without completing, any action done out of incompletion is pravritti, more and more dangerous. You need to know, more and more dangerous, more and more disturbing, more and more powerless. Only if you are taught the science of completion before the age of 7, you can even grow as a human being. As early as you learn completion and start living in the space of completion, you come towards the human space. Continuously live in the space of completion. Completion is the puja. Completion is the homa. Completion is the tapas. Completion is everything. Completion is tapas. Completion is sadhana. Completion is practice. Completion is puja. Completion is devotion. Completion is yoga. Completion is everything. Please listen. Again and again and again, I wanted to make this one statement. Completion is the path and completion is the goal. Everything should be stalled for completion to happen. Everything in your life should be stalled for completion to happen in you. Whether it is the decision to go to some school, or decision to study, decision to take up a job, or decision to get married, everything. Human beings have to go through a thorough completion before they take any decision. Introspecting out of what pattern you take decision and completing with it is very important, because when you try to get married, most of you do it out of the incompletion of not having love and thinking that the other person is going to add love to you. Please understand. If the decision is out of that powerlessness, you are only going to be adding more and more powerlessness to your life. If you are centered on powerlessness, how many hundreds of people are added to your life? You will only destroy them and yourself. If you are established in powerfulness, no need for any people to be added in your life. You will go on enriching. Go on enriching. Please listen. Just like money makes more money, Popularity makes more popularity. Power makes more power. Completion makes more completion. Incompletion makes more incompletion. When you try to bring stability because of your incompletion, you will only be reducing the beautiful flow of innate quality of life of change, because change is exciting. Please listen. Any action you do out of completion, without losing the excitement of life, without losing excitement of the life, you know how to bring stability. You will know where to keep the change as a law of life and where to have stability. I tell you, having the clarity, cognition, life is change is the greatest stability you can have in your life. Please listen. Having the cognition, life is eternally changing and the change brings excitement, is the most stable lifestyle you can have. That is the greatest stability you can bring it to your life. Out of completion, any movement brings the greatest stability and most exciting. Out of incompletion, you bring anything. Listen. You bring anything. Out of incompletion, you bring anything. You should know, when you are working out of incompletion, if you try to bring stability in your life, you will kill the excitement in the life. Excitement in the life always comes by change. I am talking about a very complicated subject. Whether to have excitement in the life or stability in the life. This is a big question human beings have. Excitement comes by change. Stability comes by, all very stable. Stability brings the curse of boredom. Excitement brings the curse of instability. But out of completion, when you move with the stability, your decisions and your being is such, you will have stability and you will not lose the excitement of life. Out of incompletion, whether you try to be stable or excited, both will lead to only more and more complications. I gave you one example of trying to have marriage. Listen, trying to have marriage. It is like one guy wanted to have milk in his life. So gets a cow and starts taking care of the cow whole day. Finally, when he gets the milk, he feels so, what to say, that I did too much of work for this milk. How can I consume it? I should sell it and make money. Because so much of my whole day work has gone behind this milk. And he sells the milk. Please listen. Whenever you work out of incompletion, you will always become tired and bored by the time results come. So you stop enjoying the result. Please listen. The result becomes boring, tiring. The result is no more exciting. The most horrible thing can happen to a human being is working your whole life and never seeing any joy and never seeing any right result in your life. This happens in human beings who constantly work out of incompletion. Please listen. Never a person who carves deities, worships, keeps a deity for himself and worships, because when he makes the best piece, he only plans to sell. Never a milkman or a man who has cows and works whole day and gets milk, drinks milk, because every glass he thinks, no, money, money, money. Never a jeweler wears best jewels because he thinks, no, I'll make more money by selling it. The whole mental setup to enjoy is lost when the work is done out of incompletion. Please listen. The whole mental setup to enjoy is lost when you work out of incompletion. I have seen in my life, in front of my own eyes, people going through the whole life. I gave you one example of, because you wanted to have milk, you buying the cow, feeding the cow and taking care of the cow, and suddenly when the milk comes, you feel you have worked too much for it and you should not drink it, you should sell it and make money. And you save all the money continuously. Again, one day you feel that you have less number of cows. You buy more cows with the money you saved, and you save more money by selling the milk, without you drinking even one drop. And with more money you saved, you buy more cows. Suddenly one day, in some disease or unknown reason, all the cows die. You sit with the depression. Please listen. When you are working out of incompletion, now what I described is exactly the outline sketch of your biography. Nothing less. Out of incompletion, anything done. Anything done. The man finally wants to have a milk, just for that bought the cow, never enjoys milk. Same way, you think you will have love in the life, because you lack inside you, you get into marriage, and you get somebody in your life whom you think will constantly give love or expect that person to give love or whatever you want to do. But I tell you, love has to be experienced within you. I'm defining love. Please listen. The confidence you have about you is love. The confidence you have about you is love. The strength you have about you is bliss. When there is no confidence about you in you, the concept of love is lost. आज लाभान्वित करना कैसे पूर्णत्व स्थिति को लाता है और कैसे पूर्णत्व स्थिति लाभान्वित करने की स्थिति को लाता है, इसके बारे में बात करेंगे। जब आप पूर्णत्व स्थिति में रहते हैं तब आप स्थिरता को बरकरार नहीं रख सकते हैं। अपूर्णता की स्थिति में कोई भी निर्णय लेना यह सबसे बड़ी उदासी की बात है। पूर्णत्व ही तपस है, पूर्णत्व ही साधना है, पूर्णत्व ही पूजा है, पूर्णत्व ही अभ्यास है, पूर्णत्व ही योग है, पूर्णत्व ही मार्ग है, पूर्णत्व ही लक्ष्य है। सब कुछ पूर्णत्व के लिए रोका जाना चाहिए। जीवन का नाम परिवर्तन है, इसका बोध होना और परिवर्तन जीवन में उत्साह लाता है। ये ज्ञान आपके जीवन में स्थिरता लाता है। पूर्णत्व द्वारा ही जीवन में स्थिरता और उत्साह दोनों लाता है। अपूर्णता द्वारा जो जीवन में केवल समस्याएं आती है। प्लीज लिसन, अंडरस्टैंड। Now the solution is not getting married. With this example I gave you, the solution is not having cows. Knowing clearly you are enough unto yourself and establishing yourself in the space of completion, then decide what you want. Then decide whether you want to buy the cow or not. Please understand. When you bring completion in you, and then any change you bring externally does not take away your excitement inside, even if you bring stability, does not lead to more boredom inside. Please listen. Stability without boredom is bliss. Change without feeling unstable is bliss. Change continuously without feeling instability. This is a very important thing. If your cognition is established in the truth, change happens in life continuously. Life is changing. If you are established in that cognition, listen, then you are in the most stable place on the planet Earth. Because the effects of the change inside your inner space, effects of change inside your inner space, listen, that makes you afraid of change. Effects of change makes inside you. I tell you, the fear of incompletions you need to go through during every change puts you in a space that you are afraid of even change. But without change, it is not that you are going to be just happy with your life. Peace brings boredom. Internally, you have a strong idea. Peace brings boredom. So come on, let's have some change. When you have a change, you are afraid of the incompletions the change is going to bring. Out of incompletion, any decision, whether it is a marriage or sannyas, is changing from one jail to another jail. From Bangalore Central Jail to the Tihar Jail, you are not going to have any difference other than the language the prisoners are going to speak. Out of incompletion, making any movement is nothing but a jail change. Out of completion. Please understand, this is the most important lesson a human being needs to have. Every time look only into that. Every time look only into that. Whether you are in a bad moment or a wrong moment or a right moment or a happy moment. Many times I have seen people come to me with some big problems. I tell them, see, externally what is the course of action is different. Internally create completion. I support you, I create a space, your problem will dissolve. Once it gets dissolved, they come with so much of excitement and bliss and they tell me, oh Swamiji, I am happy, I am out of the problem and all that. But they forget, even in this moment, they should continue to hold on to the completion. They think the completion is like a solution for one problem and they solved it, now they can throw it away. No. Even while you are in the excitement that you are out of your problems, please continue to be in the space of completion. So you will establish such a space, you will not only never get into this kind of problem anymore, you will not allow any other problems anymore. It will be such a joy. Not having problems alone is not life. Life is something more. Unfortunately, you start living in a basic survival frequency. I have seen when I give completion process to people, when I initiate people into completion, the moment they are out of the problem, they come out of, means they stop completion. They stop feeling the necessity for the completion in the life. No, I tell you. Do this like a religious, rigorous ritual. Rigorous religious ritual. Every night at least spend 21 minutes doing completion. You actually don't even need to search for incompletions. It will be there. The moment you sit, whatever comes up in you is incompletion. Complete with that. God has sent you with automatic programming of the moment you sit, whatever comes up in you is incompletion. Complete with all that. In our Gurukul, in all our schools, Gurukuls, ashrams, I make this as a system. And now I am declaring very clearly, this should be lifestyle. All our devotees, please understand, now I am making a very clear statement. I am not expecting you guys to do any other kriya, any other yoga. Those things you can pick and choose. Whether you want to practice unclutching, whether you want to practice Nithyananda yoga, whether you want to practice some diabetes kriya, those things you can pick and choose as per your requirement. Only thing I will request you is at least 21 minutes of completion every night before you go to bed. I tell you, just by completion I am learning Hindi now. I am not doing any other specific thing. I'm just sitting and saying, whatever may be the reason, see, it's whether fortunate or unfortunate. My earlier 2 incarnations also I was in the south. The first, I was traveling all over, but those days, unfortunately, the language Hindi was not developed, it was all Sanskrit. And then the next, I was completely soaked in Tamil in Madurai. So this language biomemory was not at all there as a part. Now I am completing, just by the completion and creating a space for the language, I can see in my communication system, Hindi is becoming part. I tell you, I am telling you this for all of you to understand, the power of completion. It is not only a problem solver, it is power giver. Please listen. Completion is not just a problem solver. Many times people use completion like a toilet paper. That's the right word I will use. You wipe and throw it away, over. No. Completion is not toilet paper. It's a eating plate on which you have to eat every day. It's a power giver. It's a food. Not even eating plate, it's a food. That's the right word I will use. So even if you are out of some problems in your life, what you think as major problems in your life, because of your decision to live completion, please continue to be complete. Continue to do completion, because it will create such powerful, beautiful space in you. So many things will happen in you. So many things. I tell you, many extraordinary powers will start expressing in you. You will have intuition. You will have powers. Please listen. Assault or attack or rape does not mean only invading into somebody's physical space and physically forcing them into a sexual act or sexually exploiting them. No, it is one small definition. Even if you enter into somebody's space without their permission and defame them and abuse them brutally without listening to their side of the story, it is a rape. I tell you, it is, I may give a new name to it, identity rape. That is more powerful, worst torture than physical rape. Physical rape ends in few minutes or few hours. Of course, you have to psychologically recover after that. But this identity rape is such powerful torture, abuse. I tell you, I have gone through the identity rape. From my experience, I tell you, the only strength I had to recover and recoup, because everything else was taken away from me. Whatever you call as a social strength, whether it is a money power, organization power, even the power of convincing others with your ideas, even that is a power. Inspiring others with your ideas, even that was taken away from me by banning that I should not talk. The preaching ban put on me. I don't know in India anybody else has, after the freedom, anybody else has gone through this in India, where the fundamental right to speak is taken away. But I tell you, even after all this is taken away, actually now when I look back, I understand Kalabhairava wants to tell the world with an example, without any power. Just by one power, a person can come back and rebuild the whole thing. That is power of completion. I only had one power with me. Please understand. When I was literally gang raped by identity, gang raped by yellow journals and blackmailing media, paid media, and by sadistic, popularity seeking police officers. There are some police officers, if you just get the cameras just for the sake of media pressure, they will do anything. They don't care about legalities. They don't care about law and order, law of the country, law of the land. The powers being misused, abused. I have gone through that whole identity rape. I can say that identity gang rape. I also wanted to give you the good news. From this whole thing, I came out just by the power of completion. You do not know what completion can bring to you. See, I went through the identity gang rape. It's a bad news for you. But I have a good news for you. I came out of the whole thing, got everything recreated, rebuilt in a much better way, just because of power of completion. So that is why I am telling you, make completion as your religion. Make completion as your spiritual practice. Make completion as your life. Maybe for the sake of new viewers, visitors, I'll define completion once. Going through your past with a deep attention in the present, but completely disidentified with it. Have a mirror in front of you, just like those days the Purana movies, Vittalacharya movies, they will show in a mirror the whole scene will be shown, how a queen is kidnapped or a princess is kidnapped. The whole thing will be shown. Just like that, the mirror in front of you, see your whole past with attention, without missing a single incident. Visualize and start seeing. With your attention established on it, but unidentifying with it, disidentified with it. Please listen. Whenever you give your attention to something, you identify with it. Whenever you disidentify from it, you take away your attention. Now the whole twist, the important thing you need to know, you have to give attention but not identify with it. That is completion. Giving attention without identifying is completion. That is the secret key. That is the secret key. Listen. Every day, live completion at least 21 minutes. If you can sit for 1 hour, that's great and best. I can say a sannyasi has to sit at least 1 hour in the space of completion. A person who wants to become a sannyasi or a sannyasi, even if you are a krama brahmachari, krama or naishtika or sannyasi, at least 1 hour, or rishi or rishikul, at least an hour in the night, sitting in the space of completion should be done. I am also very seriously contemplating to start one more satsang every day, evening 9 to 10. So soon I may launch this one more thing. We are waiting for the infrastructure to be ready. If you attend any one satsang is also okay, that's enough. But whoever has time, whoever wants, whoever listen to one more satsang. Both will be in English only. Morning 8 to 9 and night 9 to 10. Because some countries, people are not able to see this time. This time is a night for them. So, I'll be answering your questions and giving more and more knowledge. Actually, when I start speaking only, I understand so much need to be shared. I have to speak on so many scriptures. Still, I have not even completed the major Hindu scriptures. I only touched and opened. I have to complete at least the major Hindu scriptures like Ashtavakra Mahagita, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Pandakarika, Guru Gita, and Brahma Sutra completely. All the 108 Upanishads, there is so much. I'll dedicate one satsang just to Shastra series, scripture series. One satsang I'll call it as Shastra series, means making the scriptures as a weapon to live your life, tool to live your life. So maybe like one we will call it as Smriti series, one we will call it as Shruti series. Nitya Shruti Satsang, Nitya Smriti Satsang. Because I feel people should have completion as a lifestyle. I'll reach out. Continuously, tirelessly, I'll reach out to people just to teach them the science of completion.
Inner awakening. Stunning health recoveries. 100% cure for depression, insomnia, asthma, fatigue, chronic pain, insecurity, panic attacks, and other major disorders. Awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the dormant energy within. What would you do if you had 1300% more energy? Disease-free mind and body is your first wealth. Claim it at Inner Awakening. Inner Awakening, a 21-day meditation retreat with rare living incarnation. Paramahamsa Nithyananda, Nithyananda Dhyanapita, Nithyananda Nagar, Bidadi, Bengaluru, Karnataka. Contact
0802 727 9999.
Email ia@nithyananda.org.
जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवम्.
Paramahamsa Nithyananda is a rare living incarnation, a yogi by birth. He has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored in Tamil and English more than 500 books in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese, with translations in 26 languages are available. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 8,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services, schools, ashrams, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world offer exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer.
वन्दे कारुण्यपूर्णं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतं. सर्वाकारं निराकारं सर्वभक्तार्थविध्वंसं. वन्दे कारुण्यपूर्णं
Bidadi, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai, Salem, Los Angeles,
सच्चिदानन्द
San Jose, Seattle,
वन्दे सनातन
Ohio,
संवेद्यं देवदेवी स्वरूपिणं. वन्दे वटपलाशिस्थं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. अरुणगिरीत्याख्यं त्वां महाभावसुयोगिनं. वन्दे पूर्णावतारं शं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. अरुणगिरीत्याख्यं त्वां महाभावसुयोगिनं. वन्दे पूर्णावतारं शं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. दीर्घदर्शिनं संसेव्यं ध्यानपीठाधिपं धीरं. वन्दे लीलासूत्रधारं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. दीर्घदर्शिनं संसेव्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. अरुणगिरीत्याख्यं त्वां महाभावसुयोगिनं. वन्दे पूर्णावतारं शं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. दीर्घदर्शिनं संसेव्यं ध्यानपीठाधिपं धीरं. वन्दे लीलासूत्रधारं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. दीर्घदर्शिनं सन्न्यासवंशदीप्तारं नैकदीक्षाप्रदायकं. वन्दे वाक्यमनातीतं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. सन्न्यासवंशदीप्तारं नैकदीक्षाप्रदायकं. वन्दे वाक्यमनातीतं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं. वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्. जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं. वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्.
Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate, share and explode in eternal bliss. Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, off Mysore Road, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 08027279999. www.nithyananda.org. www.youtube.com/Life Bliss Foundation.